Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quick pick prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the bantamweight bout between Daniel Marcos versus Victor Hugo. And how I feel about this right here is I'm going low confidence on Daniel Marcos to beat Victor Hugo. I feel like Victor Hugo is still a very much question mark. Because I was not impressed with his contender series fight, to be honest. He did what he needed to do, but I was not impressed. And the stats make it look like a different fight than what it was, but in reality, I feel like his opponent was more so in the driver's seat than him. I feel like his opponent made stupid decisions in the driver's seat. I feel like his opponent was like, looking like he was going to outlast him, and, started taking it away. He was looking like the cleaner, more polished mixed martial artist. More clean, more polished fighter. It's like he was getting the better of the grappling positions, at least, overall looked like he was doing clean in those positions. He was able to take his back several times, but dumb thing about what he was doing, he kept feeding his leg through the middle against a guy who is pretty much like a leg lock knee bar specialist. And that was dumb. But he could outstrike him, could have stopped the takedowns, and maybe even scored his own takedowns, but he kept going for the wrong positions and just going about it the wrong way. But and I don't think his opponent was like specifically or all that special, to be honest. And he was struggling with him, and got gifted by his opponent feeding his leg through, from the back. Like he had his back standing, and he's gonna just keep feeding his leg through the middle. Like you were going for the worst takedown, worst position, and against. Did you study who you were fighting with? This dumb. And I think, like I said, I'm not like Daniel Marcos is the greatest thing since sliced bread, which he's not. And I would never say that. I don't think he'll ever be that, but probably his parents' eyes, he might be that. But anyway, I do think he's smarter than that. I think he's a well-rounded fighter. I think he can present similar things that his last opponent presented, and present it at a much more, I guess, higher IQ than whatever his last opponent was. Because his opponent before, had the skills and he was, doing well. But yeah, he made some really bad decisions out there. And I think Marco's not gonna make the same bad decisions, especially after seeing that fight, and especially having more experience than his previous opponent. But again, Hugo's definitely a X factor. I don't know if it strike him in cleaner than it looked in that last fight. Could be an issue. And also, like, he was fighting at 55 and 70 and all these other random weight classes. So maybe he's had time to adjust better to the weight class, and he'll look cleaner, more technical than he looked in his last fight. And look like he could push the pace better. So we don't know. And also in Brazil, so we don't know. But based on what I've seen, I got to go Daniel Marcos here. I think he'll be able to outstrike him, be able to stuff the takedowns, or at least be able to address the takedowns. And it's like Hugo wear himself down and just really outstrike him through to a decision. So I think Hugo might be able to have a decent first round, but I don't think against this level of competition with how limited he looked in his last fight, I don't think he'll be able to fight for 15 minutes. I think he's gonna be looking for finishes, but I think Daniel Marcos will be able to again stuff a lot of those takedowns and hold a good count for himself through that first round. Just really outworking and drain him to a decision. So in this one, I got Daniel Marcos via decision.